All right, so before we start the video, I have to give a huge shout out to Donovan, aka Blackout FPIU on Instagram, for letting us use his 2014 FPIU for this video. All right, now there's been a growing trend of former Crown Vic owners selling their P71s and buying FPIUs. And for those of you wondering, FPIU stands for Ford Police Interceptor Utility, which is what this car is officially known as. Even when you're looking for parts for it, it's not technically an Explorer, it's actually its own thing. So on one hand, I hate seeing fellow Panther owners leaving their Crown Vics behind, but at the same time, the way I see it, that just means more Crown Vics for me. So after years of seeing this trend slowly taking place, I finally decided to see what the hell all the commotion was about. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a direct comp between the Crown Victoria Police Interceptor and its replacement, the Ford Explorer Police Interceptor Utility. And yeah, I'm replacing my fog light. Somebody's going to point it out in the comments. Yeah, I know. All right, anyways, let's get back to the video. And yeah, I'm aware that no matter what I say and no matter what happens, somebody's still going to get butthurt after watching this video. So without further ado, let's get it. As far as the exterior goes, the biggest difference between both cars is the Explorer is a unibody compared to the Crown Vic's body-on-frame design. When involved in an accident, the entire stress of the impact is sent throughout the body of the FPIU, as opposed to the Vic, where the frame itself is what receives most of the brunt of the impact. Financially, this means that the Explorer is a lot more expensive to fix and replace body panels in the case of a moderate to severe crash, as opposed to the Vic. However, when it comes to police equipment such as spotlights and push bars, the Explorer is literally built like a giant Lego with already pre-made brackets and panels, which make police equipment installation a million times better. And for anyone who's ever had to install a push bar on a Crown Vic, you know the struggle is real. All right, so next up, it's the interior. Now, as far as interior goes, with an interior design that spans more than 20 years, the interior of a Crown Vic is a perfect example of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Featuring a vinyl floor mat along with easy to clean cloth seats, the basic fleet radio, and cheap plastic interior trim, all purposely built for affordability, ease of use, and low maintenance. However, the Explorer, on the other hand, with its more modern interior materials and even Bluetooth radio, is light years ahead of the P71. With the room and space of a mid-size SUV, you can fit an entire family of 5, haul like 10 sheets of drywall, and still fill a cart full of groceries under that. Look at that trunk space, dude. Can you kind of sit down too in it? Yep. Just to show how far back it goes? Yeah, and you're what?
I'm 6'4".
6'4", dude. You almost fit in this entire trunk. Holy, oh, and there's more. And there's more. And there's,
reinforced bar.
There it is. Now, this is the part of the video where we're going to be talking about the important stuff. And of course, I'm talking about what powers these cars. And you're going to be surprised at just how similar, although they have two completely different engines, completely years apart, you're going to be surprised just how similar both of these cars are when it comes to the engines. Now, as far as engines are concerned, we have the P71's 4.6 liter V8 from the Mustang GT. Horsepower was at 250 with a healthy 280 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 was right around 8.5 seconds. The Explorer, although sporting a 3.7 liter Cyclone, also from the V6 Mustang, makes 305 horsepower and 280 torque. It does have a slightly faster 0 to 60 of 7.9 seconds. Now, common failure points on the P71 is the infamous intake manifold and the Explorer, which features a timing chain driven water pump that also tends to fail. Ironically, both weak points in these cars cost between $1,000 to $1,200 to fix if you take it to a shop. Now let's talk about the drivetrain. And although the Crown Vic featured a classic and bulletproof solid rear axle with rear wheel drive, which is great for doing donuts and drifting, the advantage once again goes to the Explorer with its full-time all-wheel drive system. It's perfect for quick launches as well as driving in all kinds of conditions, whether it's rain, gravel, or snow. This makes the Explorer very capable in any terrain. So what about durability? Well, as many of you guys know, back in the mid-2000s, the Panther platform held the highest standards for crash safety rating, scoring 5 stars in every category. However, when it comes to safety features, the FPIU is on another level. You see, while the Crown Vic had a purposely designed trunk meant to absorb and disperse energy, there were still a few flaws with this design, including but not limited to fuel tank explosions. The Ford Explorer not only comes with a purpose-built trunk with strategic crumple zones, but that trunk is also reinforced with heavy-duty steel braces that can withstand a rear collision of up to 75 miles per hour from a stop. Compare that to the almost 20-year-old outdated design of the Crown Vic, compared to today's modern safety standards, and the Explorer FPIU is light years ahead once again of the P71. Alright, now, like if the odds weren't already stacked against the P71, it's time to talk about the transmissions. With the main issues that you're going to have in these transmissions being the main control valve, which is not only cheaper at $300 to fix, but it being just a sensor that plugs in under the transmission, it's also a lot easier to replace too. Next up, we're going to talk about top speed. All right, now listen, unless your Crown Victoria has been modified to have its speed governor removed, 90% of all P71s will top out at 129 miles per hour. The only exception being if it's a highway patrol car. And even though it sits higher and weighs a crap ton more than the Crown Vic, the FPIU tops out at a rated speed of 132 miles per hour. With the non-governed highway patrol models, which is exactly what this car is. This is a former Tennessee highway patrol car. Its top speed is 160, and it usually tops out at about 152 miles per hour. And last but not least, guys, we're going to talk about pricing. Now, sadly, because of channels like mine and other Crown Vic channels, the rise in popularity of these otherwise unpopular Panther cars has risen to mythic proportions, now ranging in the $3,500 to $4,000 mark for a decent, well-maintained P71, compared to probably the lowest you can find. An earlier version of the FPIU is probably about what, maybe 6,000, 7,000, right around there. Being better than Crown Vics in almost every possible way, it makes sense that more and more Panther owners are transitioning to the FPIUs. It makes perfect sense. At the end of the day, it's up to your preference, though still by a very, very small margin. P71 is still the best pound for pound four-door car for the money. That's the key word there, for the money. But as the years pass and these old cop cars get closer and closer to achieving classic car status, that margin gets smaller and smaller, and almost to the point where it's more practical to just get an FPIU. Unless you're a hardcore Panther fan like yours truly, or Crown Vic Guru over there. Say the best case scenario is have an Explorer as a daily driver and have a Crown Vic for some weekend cruising. The moment that Mitchell showed up driving Donovan's FPIU, I was like, man, you know, I'm a hardcore Panther fan. There's nothing can convince me from getting one of these. And here, I'm gonna take you guys on a little drive, and we'll have another talk. Take a little drive, man. Let's take a little drive, huh? Old Mitchell right there driving the Cobra Vic. Yeah, I mean, as far as just comfort, as far as space is concerned, performance, all-wheel drive, safety, I mean, it is this literally is the replacement for our Crown Victoria, and I can clearly see why that happened. After having driven this particular car myself, I can say I am a believer. I'm a believer in the FPIU, and I was always kind of stuck in between FPIU or the Taurus Interceptor. But I gotta say, having a little bit more height, having a little bit more clearance, I think the winner is the FPIU. And like I told you guys, if you're considering buying one, it'd be nice, a definitely perfect daily driver. And let's start preserving our Vics, man. You know, they're starting to get up there in age where they really are going to become classic cars, and you're going to want to preserve them, not dog them out as much as we used to, and still, you know, stay in the old cop car family. So I can't believe I'm saying it, man, but I'm really enjoying this test drive. This thing is so smooth, and you're so high up, but it's not like crazy high like a pickup truck. Look at this. It gets up and goes. Yo, okay, like, dude, I'm a believer. I'm a believer, man. I'm a believer. It's up to you guys. Like I said, best case scenario, get you a Vic, get you a little bit something more modern, a little bit more comfortable. This thing has airbags up the ass. It has airbags everywhere, every single column, everything. Safety everywhere.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer, man. I'm a believer.